Hey everybody, and welcome back to Grounds Family Farm. Today we've got a lot of projects that we're working on that we're going to try to get done. I'm not sure what all we'll get to, but we're going to bring you along with us. And we're going to start out with the peacocks. Many of y'all said after we moved in the new peacocks or mentioned that they needed a roost. And we knew that they did, we just hadn't got around to building it yet. But today we're going to do that and we're going to let you see that process. And we also have some other projects that we need to get done. Some to do with chicken waters and feeders. But like I said, I'm not sure how long this project's going to take. But we're going to let you see as much as we can, and we're fixing to get started. First thing I'm starting with is the peacock roost. Several of y'all had said that we were needing one in there, which we knew we did, but since we had added the new ones to the pen, we kind of weren't sure exactly what the design was going to be, and so I decided to make a mobile one for now. That way, when we move them, it'll be able to go with them. What I'm going to do is I kind of looked up different designs, didn't really like anything that I saw, and so it's going to be like a sawhorse design. I'm going to make the beam 6 foot long. That'll give them room to get up and roost. And it's going to be about 42 to 44 inches off the ground. First thing I did was got some scrap boards that we had around that we weren't using for anything. I cut 3 boards that are 6 foot long to be the main beam. And then I cut legs 44 inches long to make the legs where it'll stand up. And then the peacocks will be able to roost on that. I may add additional legs at different heights after I get it put together and see if I think they need it, but we've got all the boards cut now and we're fixing to get started putting together the main beam, and then we'll start adding the legs to it after that. So here we go with that. What I've done here, these are the 3 6 foot pieces. They're all the same length. I've taken into account that what it's going to be, it's pretty much going to be one board flat, one standing up, and then another one on top to give it strength. And it also gets the angles for the legs to go in like they're supposed to go. So I'm going to screw these together. What I've done is I've measured 1 inch over on these boards so that I can set up this middle beam on that where it will be lined up with that so that I know it's directly in the center. And once I get that screwed in, then I'll put the other one on top and go from there. So I think it's going to be easier if I flip this around this way because it'll put the line on my side where I can see it better. And I've got decking screws. These are 2.5 inches. So they'll be plenty long for what we're doing. And it should hold. It shouldn't take a whole bunch of them because they hold so well. But gotta get this out of the way. I think what I'm going to do to make this easier is just go ahead and start me a couple right in the middle of this board. That way, whenever I'm having to screw it upside down and can't really see, they'll already be started, because that's starting almost the hardest part usually if you're at a bad angle. So I've got that. So like I said, I'm going to line this one up in the middle. Once I get it lined up and it's even with the end, I'm just going to come underneath here. Hope if I had my bit in good, but I didn't. And then flip it around. And I'm going to do the same thing on this end. Get it lined up with my line there. Hold it down tight. Screw that in. Okay, so there's the first one. The second one, I think I'm going to do it the same way just to make it easier, so that I can see my lines and still do it upside down. Rather than trying to match that up on the bottom without being able to see. What I'm doing is I'm just getting it where it's lined up on the end, pretty straight there. It's not going to be a big deal if it's not perfect, because it's just a peacock roost. you've got that in, I'm going to take a few screws and just run up and down this just to make sure that it's good and secure. Like I said, this was just old scrap wood that we had, and since our big plans is to move the peacocks into a new location, I didn't want to just go crazy on building this because the pen they're in now is movable, and so I didn't want anything that was permanent. But like I said, this will move with them, and then if we end up building them something else once we get them moved, I can turn this into a sawhorse, because that's basically what it's going to be. Like I said, building this beam like this makes it good and sturdy, where even with their weight on it, it shouldn't shift a whole lot or warp, because that's a 6-foot spread. So now, okay, so here's all of our legs. And what I'm going to do is just set them beside each other and make sure that they're relatively the same height, which they are. And then what I saw was, to get the right angle, is they put the top edge beneath that top beam, and then the other one goes on the outside, and that gives it the angle to hold it up. So
nice.
That's what the plan is. We'll see how it works.
I'll mark it. I'll mark it.
Yeah, I'm just going to set these in some, just because there's no reason they have to be on the very outside edge.
True. But then you can make sure that they're even.
Okay. That one's pretty good.
Yep.
Okay.
One side down.
Yep. For that part. I'm just going to do the same thing on this side to make sure it's about in the same spot.
Yeah.
Just measure in and then make a line. I also went back and forth on which way this beam should go, because some stuff I read was like it should be on the narrow side so they can wrap their toes, talons, whatever you want to call around it. And the other said that they like the wider where they can set them out flat. So since it was conflicting stuff and I didn't really know, I went with the wider, because worst case, if they don't like this, all we'll have to do is we can take a 2x4 and come back across the top.
Yep.
And not have to rebuild the whole thing. Or I guess in theory, once we have these on, we could actually just take that top board off, because there's nothing that's going to be attached to it except for these boards anyhow.
That's true.
Okay, so now we have the basic design. And so to make it sturdier, I think what I'm going to do is run a board across each end, and then I think I might run another board in between, so that if they want to sit lower than this, they can. Okay, what I'm doing now is to get these braces where they're supposed to go, just so that I know this will fit through the gate okay, so I'm going to have to work it in sideways. I'm just measuring where these should go and putting a line so I can just go inside, line up the board where it's supposed to go, and screw it down once I'm inside. And then I just have to cut one for the front. I don't think I'm going to do it on the back because I don't think these are going to rock the way they're in there. I think it's going to be pretty sturdy. So I'm just going to do one on the front to work as a step for them to get up there if they want it. Like I said, they may just jump right up there. I'm not real sure. So we're just going to have to play it out by ear and see. Okay, so we're going to carry this over here and see how it goes. Like I said, hopefully the measurements are good enough it'll get through the door.
This will be exciting.
Maybe not. I don't know. I forgot that this wasn't very tall. The entrance.
Oh, yeah.
So this may or may not work.
Nope.
Well. I forgot that this wasn't as tall as... Oh wait, I got it.
He's good at figuring out problems, though, so he'll get it.
Guess we should have measured that first.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it not being
I wasn't
full.
thinking about the 6 foot being the issue. I just thought the width was.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking the door was taller than it is. But I forget we have to duck to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah, there you go.
We'll see.
That's the good thing about a pen that
It's
snaps
cheap.
together. Yes, you can.
So it doesn't mean it's still gonna make it, but
No, but that little dip right as you go in the door might help. I just want to go over there and help, but can't. So.
I think if...
Yay! Okay. I can probably hold up the wire.
Huh? No, it's fine. It's not that. It's just... It's just too cumbersome to get in here.
It looks very nice.
Okay, we'll put this back together before I forget.
That was a good thought. I didn't think about that. I forgot that that piece was separate from the two sides there. I thought it was all one piece.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. Hey, guys. Hey. Yeah, invading your space a little bit.
Fred, you can't come in. He's right above your head, so be careful.
Fred, really? Yes.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to see if I can... Hopefully this works.
Looks good.
Get an idea.
And these will brace it so the first major windstorm won't make it collapse or anything like that. So we have had sawhorses do that before. Not made this sturdy, of course.
Hopefully they use it now that we've gone through all this trouble to
Put one in here.
build them something.
I bet they will.
But
It
our
might
luck,
take them a little bit.
they won't. Our luck, they'll be like, we liked it how it was. Okay, well, I used a level to get that level, but now that I'm looking at it, they just don't look that level, but it's probably because the ground's a little off.
Yeah,
I can see
this leg's not on the ground right now.
Yeah, I gotta move their feeder. They need some more.
Yeah, the girls filled it up yesterday, but with us having more in there than we did before.
Yeah.
They're going through it a lot faster. Hey, babies.
I'm gonna move it up under this tarp.
Yeah, I mean, they can kind of get out of the...
Easy.
Hey, it's okay, babies. It's okay. It's not like you don't know him. It's a struggle finding a level spot in this pen.
Yeah, they've dug some holes. Part of the problem. I think that'll work.
Yeah.
A little bit farther up. Oh yeah,
Well,
that's
aren't you beautiful? Yeah, y'all are gorgeous.
there. That's sturdy. If it looks like it's going to be an issue where to blow over, then I'll just come stake it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that still gives them quite a bit of headroom. Like I said, if it looks like they're having issues with the height, then we'll just come in and chop it down some. But that's what it's going to be for now. At least till we see how they do.
Yep.
I think I've got... Oh, I need to put a couple more screws on this long board.
Well, now they're over here. Close to it anyway. Not quite checking it out yet since we're still in here, but...
Yeah, and you may notice that we're missing a peahen. And the reason is because she passed away. Okay, so we're not really exactly sure what happened to her. Her head was kind of messed up. And if you look right here in front of the gate, there's a hole that's here. Now the peacocks inside the pen dug the hole because it's clearly, I mean, we've seen them do it and everything. But she was laying down in this hole. And like I said, I don't know if something reached up underneath the bar and got her, or if something else happened and then maybe some of the ones in here messed with her or what. But we've not seen any predators around, but I'm not sure if we may have some sort of predator and we just didn't know it yet. But everything else is seeming fine, so maybe she had something else going on with her. But either way, we're going to try to figure that out, and we're going to either put something across the front or fill this hole up or something, because we're not sure. I mean, there's holes all in this where they've been digging. So I don't know if they just like to dig or what, but they, like I said, we'll fill that in or do something so that the other ones have not had any issues. But we hate that we lost her, because now we're down to one peahen again, but we'll just have to wait. Once we get their big peacock mansion thing built over there, that's when we'll probably do something else and just stick with what we have for now, because we initially were told that these should be laying this season, and we've not gotten any eggs from them. So I don't know if they were maybe a little bit younger than what they said, or if it's just not the right time, because I know this is the period when peacocks are laying, but ours have not laid anything, and she hadn't laid anything before whatever happened to her happened. So we're going to try to work on that and get that fixed. And like I said, I think once we get that over there, we're going to keep that sort of thing in mind whenever we build it, to try to make sure that predators can't get around it. Like I said, I'm not 100% if that's what happened to her, if it was something else, but either way, we're not happy about it, but it's just part of it.
Yep. Yeah, the rest of these guys are doing really well right now. They've calmed down now that we're not over there with them. And I'm going to eventually try to get him on video all fanned out, because the big opal male peacock, he is beautiful whenever you see all of his tail feathers. He's just gorgeous. And he's really, really pretty sweet. You can get pretty close to him and he doesn't freak out too much. So the other guys are coming around. Definitely coming around. And she's not too bad either.
Yeah, she's pretty gentle. Like I said, none of them like to be messed with a lot, but
No.
like most of the time, unless it's something out of the norm, like if we just walk up to them and don't crowd them up too much, they're usually pretty gentle.
Yeah, they don't go crazy when you come in the pen to put out some feed or something. They'll actually get close to your feet when you're dumping feed in their feeder. So
Yeah, I mean, they kind of went a little nuts whenever I brought in that big
yeah.
sawhorse, but that was something new to them. So
yeah, something new.
they'll get used to it. Like I said, and the fact that they can jump up and fly like you just saw, they can easily get up on that top rail. But if they want the lower one, they've got it too.
Yep. Okay, so something else we just recently did. Not too long ago, we had a storm come through. It wasn't really a bad storm, but it pulled the original tarp that we had over that area back there and completely ripped it to shreds. If you see, it's right here on the ground. Just torn completely up, which is flapping in the wind, and part of it was falling off. Anyway, whenever we initially put this up, we told you, you know, it wasn't necessarily the sturdiest made, and the tarp itself was pretty flimsy, but I mean, honestly, it's held up pretty well for the length of time that it has been. So what we did is we replaced it with a heavier duty tarp. This time we used zip ties instead of the original fasteners that they sent with it. And we've had some storms because it has been raining every other day, it seems like, here. And we've had wind with it and all that. And I mean, it is up on the hill, but it is doing just fine. And they all huddle up underneath it whenever it is raining, but they have enough space back there to be able to spread out. So it's been a good thing, and it's keeping them well protected. And like I said, this thing was good while it lasted, but I'm honestly surprised that it held on as long as it did, just because, I mean, it's very, very thin. See if you can see that. I mean, see those edges right there. It's super thin. But like I said, heavy duty tarp now, so they're back in business. They've got shelter from the wind, rain, even just the sun, you know, because right now we're having temps in the 90s, and so these guys do get a little warm, but they've got their water, they've got their feed. Now they have their nice roost, and they've got that heavy duty tarp on there. So for now, until we move them into their big enclosure, I think they're good to go. So look at this, guys. They're checking it out. I don't know if we get to catch them jumping up on it or not, but they are definitely interested in trying to figure out what that thing is. Come on. Look at them all. A couple of them are just eating, but our 3 originals that we had, they're checking things out. You gonna get on it? I wish I would climb up on it so we could see. Well, oh, he's still looking. Trying to figure out what that big thing in there is. May take them a little bit, but they'll warm up to it, I'm sure. At least they're getting used to it, looking at it and all that good stuff. So I'm sure it'll just be a matter of time before they start using it. Alright guys, it is the next morning, so I just wanted to show you how these guys are loving their new roost. We've got 2 on top of it currently. Others all clustered around it. But yeah, that's perfect height for them. Definitely. And I would say that this project is definitely a success. Really, really happy about that.